Good morning. Welcome to Faith in the Morning. Something good is going to happen to you today, so expect miracles. Thank you for joining Faith in the Morning. It exists to help you start your day with faith and encouragement. So however you're watching, I'm so glad that you're watching, whether you're watching our live stream on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter, watching on Faith Plus or Faith Plus On Demand, or listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Welcome. I'm so glad that you started your day with us, starting your day with faith and encouragement. Let's go to Proverbs Chapter 23. This entire month I've been encouraging you to read through the chapter of Proverbs, because the book of Proverbs, because there's 31 days in May and 31 chapters of Proverbs. And one of the things we've been talking about this month is the call and answering the call that's upon your life. And we said throughout this month on Sundays and on Faith in the Morning that there's a general call upon every believer's life. There's a general path for every believer, and there's a general way for every believer. And there are specifics that you'll get from God as you spend time with prayer and you follow his leading and follow his steps of obedience, step after step after step. But let's look at a general way that I want you to see here in Proverbs chapter 23. It's a general instruction for all of us, and it's a good reminder for all of us. Proverbs chapter 23, verse 17. It says, "Do not let your heart envy sinners, but be zealous for the fear of the Lord all the day. For surely there is a hereafter, and your hope will not be cut off. Hear, my son, and be wise, and guide your heart in the way. Do not mix with winebibbers or with gluttonous eaters of meat, for the drunkard and the glutton will come to poverty, and drowsiness will clothe a man with rags." Now, I want to look at some of these verses in another translation and to increase our understanding. The Amplified Classic Edition says, "Let not your heart envy sinners, but continue in the reverent and worshipful fear of the Lord all the day long. For surely there is a latter end, a future, and a reward, and your hope and expectation shall not be cut off. Hear, my son, and be wise, and direct your mind in the way of the Lord." The New Living Translation says it this way: "Don't envy sinners, but always continue to fear the Lord. You will be rewarded for this. Your hope will not be disappointed. My child, listen and be wise. Keep your heart on the right course." Message version, and we'll stop here. It says, "Don't for a minute envy careless rebels. Soak yourself in the fear of God. That's where your future lies. Then you won't be left with an armload of nothing. Oh, listen, dear child, be wise. Point your life in the right direction." Now, one of the things we see is the way of the Lord, the right direction, staying on the right course. And here's something it tells us in verse 17 that can take you off the right course: envying sinners, being jealous of sinners. It talks about this in Psalms as well. It says, "Don't fret, don't let your heart fret because of envydoers. Don't let your heart fret because of evildoers. Don't let your heart fret. Don't be anxious about them. Don't be mad because of what they got. Don't get caught up in envy because it seems like their life is going well. You think, well, I'm doing right. I'm doing what God's telling me to do. I'm obeying. I'm facing this persecution. I'm facing this affliction. I'm facing this pressure. This popped up. This is not going right. But look at them. They don't even serve God. They're doing all the things they shouldn't do, and their life is on easy street." Now, remember, you can't just judge people's lives because of what you see in the media and what you see on Instagram. What you see on Instagram is usually people's highlight reels. So don't judge people's lives just because you saw something. But even if in their life it seems like everything is going right, they got everything going on, don't make a decision to get off the path of righteousness just because somebody in sin seems to be having a good moment or a good season. It's a warning here. Do not let your heart envy sinners, but you continue in the reverent and worshipful fear of the Lord all the day long. When we talk about the fear of God, is not being afraid of God, it's reverential awe and respect toward God. You live that life of reverence toward God. Why? For surely there's a latter and there is a future and a reward. You will be rewarded. So although it may seem tough right now, what you face today is not going to be your always. And it may seem tough to make the right decision right now. It may seem tough to go forward right now. It may seem tough to keep picking the right decision again and again. But the scripture encourages you that living this way, there is a future and there's a reward. There's a reward in this life and there's a reward in the life to come. Your hope and your expectation shall not be cut off, or the other translation, your hope will not be disappointed. So listen to this and be wise and direct your mind in the way. How do you direct your mind? You don't let your mind and your heart become envious of people who aren't living for God. You say no to jealousy. You say no to envy. You say, you know what? I am going to stay on the right path. I'm going to live with reverence toward God, his ways, his word. I'm going to live in awe towards God, his ways and his word. I'm going to stay on this path no matter what other people say, No matter what is popular, no matter what other people do, I am going to stay on the path of God. Before we go, let me take you back one chapter to Proverbs chapter 22. It says in verse 4, by humility and the fear of the Lord are riches and honor and life. The Amplified Classic Edition says it this way: the reward of humility and the reverent and worshipful fear of the Lord is riches and honor and life. The New Living Translation says true humility and fear of the Lord leads to riches, honor, and long life. The Message version says the payoff for meekness and fear of God is plenty and honor and a satisfying life. So don't be envious of sinners. You stay on the path of righteousness. You live the way God has for you. God's got you. He has a reward for you. He has hope for your future. Your future is worth it. So don't get off the path now. Keep walking in reverence toward God and watch how God will reward you in secret. He'll reward you openly. He'll reward you in this life, and he'll reward you in the life to come. Keep living for God and know something good is going to happen to you today. So expect miracles. God bless.